Yo, 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 what's up, bros? What's going on? Guys, we had a complete reversal today in today's markets. Let's go over a few things. First of all, let's take a look at the market indexes, and then let's go into the game plan for tomorrow. So we got a few things to dig into. Number one, the market indexes did not take, we had a bounce day, but we did not even get back to where we were a couple days ago on the CPI number. But a lot of stocks are breaking the F word out, even though the indexes themselves are a little bit depressed from where they were a couple days ago. We still got some huge hot heat. So let's take a look at this. So this is something that's going to be important coming into the rest of the week. So the Qs came back into the 20-day moving average. We got a nice little bouncy McGee today. More than that, though, it was a trend day, right? You had a gap up, you had a pull back, and then you close really hard, and you're holding up, And so even though we were all the way up over here, the action was very, very strong. Like, we saw a strong bounce in so many names, right? Like, you had trenders in coin, SQ, right? Mara, like, you had trenders in so many names. Netflix finally broke out. That's like, right? The gap took out a lot of the range at the open, which is what kind of makes it a little bit of a biatch, but you had some range if you were able to kind of just hit things on dips. And so I would think that maybe, most likely, yesterday was an overreaction or a one-off event. We don't have any evidence after today that it could be anything. So we do got to be a little bit careful, but the big hairy Indian butt is that the market had an awesome rebound today. It's all you can ask for. IWM up 2.5%, 1.9%, 2.32%. That's pretty big. It lost a lot yesterday, but that's a hell of a reverse. Like, if it had bounced light, if it had just bounced like 0.5%, 0.7%, I think that things would have been a little bit more dicey, but it made a pretty strong comeback, so we'll see what's going on for the rest of the day. Guys, there's a lot of action even happening in the post hour, so I think tomorrow's going to be a wild day. Let's get into the actual watch list. My thinking for tomorrow is all systems is a go. Today I was actually thinking we might be a short. We did not see the setup. The price action was too strong. There was very, very few even shorts going on. Look off the bat, right? PLTR, red to green. That's probably the hottest stock for tomorrow, right? Coin. ORB, that's what you want to see. Like, when you see stocks doing ORB, then the price action is good, because that's inherently a chasing setup. So when you have a chasing setup and you're actually following through, that's also very, very bullish, right? Mara's also pushing into the after hours, double top maybe, I don't know, right? But we'll see how this reacts tomorrow. My gut feeling is this probably needs a little pull tomorrow. I'll be ready for it, but it ain't an easy play. So let's get into the watch list. I'll keep this real short here. So I think these are a couple plays. So we were watching this right off the open. Guys, this was a picture-perfect setup. This setup has been working intraday non-stop since the beginning of this earnings season. So you got earnings gapper in the pre-market, right? You start to kind of base out. You take out that pre-market high. They're going the first candle, and then you get this epic run to the upside. Sorry, I got fire alarm going off. We're not afraid. Don't be afraid. So we got a little bit of a run over here. And it don't look like much, but you go 15.11 to 16.74. Yeah. If you're getting the 15.50 calls, guys, this is huge cheddars right here, right? 15.50 calls, 46 cents down to $60. That is good God-fearing Christian money right there. That's what we're all about. That's why we want to trade earnings. This setup has been working like a motherfucker of late. So keep this on watch for a day 2 play. It's not going to probably move as awesome as yesterday or today. But as we saw with Palantir, the day 2 is often pretty hot. So this is the playbook that I want to use. So Palantir had this 30% run. Then the next day, see how it dipped off a little bit at the open? Let me see if I can bring it here for you. This is the play, right? This is what we want to do on old lift. So the next day, it dipped off just a hot second, if you see that, right? And we took this red to green. I added the 2250 calls. So it dipped off for just a hot second, just like one candle of Butamus Maximus Meridius. And then you, boom, take it out. You go red to green. Next thing you know, you're taking out previous day's highs. Next thing you know, you're wondering why you don't have any shares and why you're living such a lonely and miserable, alone life. And you're wondering why you're making, YouTube videos on Valentine's Day, hoping, wishing for sustenance of the heart. Because that's what it's all about, right? Just sustenance of the heart, Here I got, my woman's lighting my place on fire right now. I guess, just lighting the blaze on fire. I'm not getting sustenance of the heart right now. All I'm getting is smoke alarm. That's what happens. So be mindful. Tomorrow, the play, the tour du jour, will be if this dips off at the open, we go red to green. Look at the daily chart on this. Bros, this is huge, right? It's huge. You got all this upside. You don't really have any resistance up until here. And then, of course, the tell is, look, I had 110 million shares of volume, but screw the volume, right? Remember what Uber started off its earnings breakout, right? Earnings breakout here, and it went all like this. Now, is this Uber? No. Uber is a 30 times bigger company than Lyft, but in essence, they do the same shit, right? And this is America. Ain't nobody that smart, right? There's people that say In-N-Out is like great food, right? But in the end, it's still like McDonald's, right? So, Uber and Lyft can both go together. Maybe Lyft is like the In-N-Out, where all like the hipsters and like the food Nazis are all like, oh my gosh, I'm so cool, I eat it In-N-Out. I'm like one with the people. And you're like, yeah, you still eat fast food, you little fatty. And boom, right? And they're coming across like they're great. They know what's going on. And maybe that's what's happening with Lyft today. Lyft could be, Uber could be McDonald's. Maybe Lyft is In-N-Out. Maybe Lyft is the place where, you get drunk and you meet a girl and you're like, I'm going to do Lyft so I can be different, so I can be cool, right? It's like, back in the day when craft beers were coming out and like these weird dudes be like, oh, well, this sour beer is so fantastic. And they're smelling it and you're sitting there thinking like, man, this guy's such a loser. The only reason he's talking about craft beer is because he can't afford good wine, right? That's the only reason that somebody would talk about craft beer. It's like, yeah, it's because you are poor. Craft beer's $3. Good wine's more dollars. And so the Lyft is an epitome of these things. We want to take this thing upside down, Julie Brown. Now, on the other side of things, there's all these kind of like a little mid-smalls that are starting to push through. Old Residuo Technologies had Q4 beats, some guidance that was buenos dias. This thing is looking pretty good. Guys, we got a big push on this, 24%. 22 million shares volume. Boom. Let this thing pop down. Go red to green. Eso buenos. Eso buenos. That's Spanish for good. Look at that thing. We got a nice base on this one. Plus, you also have like, remember like those guys like back in the day, like the Seth Green kind of guys, and they'd be like, I got the Resi. Well, here you go. You got the Resi, and it's in a stock. We want to play this one. Aspen, a stream. I'm only putting this up. I don't think it's ready for tomorrow, but I just want to just remind you guys how I keep putting this thing on the watch list for you. Keep this thing on the watch list for you because it is a Butamus Maximus Decimus Meridius. It's a buenos. This thing, pull back to the 50-day moving average. It's a go. It's not ready for tomorrow. It's just more of just a reminder of the amazing things that I do for you guys because I love you. Now, Mara, I think this thing, if this blows out tomorrow, I think we short this piggy. Two tapper. It may need to blow out and go above it a little bit. But look, your 9 EMA is at 23. Not an easy market to short. But the setup is there. If we see it confirm intraday, I would not try to step in front of it. But, dude, if it gaps up, say, 15-20% by the end of the day tomorrow, say it's at 32, 33, dude, we got to take it down just for moral purposes. K-Toss. So, old Kratos had a contract win, $579 million. It's a $2 billion company. You got a big base big ranges that it's coming across from 2022. Not the sexiest names, but you had a volume increase. You got good range on this. I think you add something like this. You want to be a part of, you want to add a couple of these kind of random names that are just starting to pick up on the scanners, because I think what's happening is even though the market indexes didn't really kind of reach back where they were, you saw this whole host of other names starting to get picked up today. See this thing, you got a big base here. If this thing comes out of this zone of love, it's going to have some awesomeness. Solar's got bought up, right? You got a breakout, pullback. Dude, this Maxon's ready to go. Right? You got a $6 break on this. Psh, bam. We want to be a part of that. Uber, not to be confused with old Lyft, right? But Uber has a breakout. This is all-time highs, as you know. This is the hottest stock of the year. 70 million shares in volume. So all of a sudden, Lyft's earnings really lifted this bad boy up. Pun intended. But, dude, week open on this, we got to shred this thing. It's the stock of the year so far for large caps. At least I think. It's infinitely easier to trade than old NVIDIA. SMCI, I'm just putting this on here as a commitment to leave this alone. But if it gets up to 1,000... one of these days, we're going to see it. Sometimes you got to take a little small donation on them, but it's there. It's just a matter of when. This is my game plan for this. This is what I think would be the perfect scenario. It blows everybody out tomorrow. Big push. The options, the borrows, options, spreads, everything is too expensive, right? But on Fridays, old puts are cheap. Right? All Friday. Right now, say you were doing some damn puts or something. They're so fucking expensive. So, you're coming in. Dude, you're doing some 885s or something. Maybe fucking $30 per contract with no liquidity. It's going to be just a big cluster effort, of nastiness, right? $26. But if it blows out one more day, on Friday, the options will be cheap because there's 0 DTE. It'll set up a real nice setup. Today, the setup was there too, on the blowout over here, but it just wasn't enough. I think the setup was there, but it wasn't enough euphoria, I don't think, as the best ones type to do. AMSC, we had this on the blog yesterday, of course, because of the inside day setup has been working nonstop. Beautiful trender. I still think week open on this one, they get bought. Tower Semiconductor. I have this on the watch list for a gap fill, but also because it reads like Taiwan Semiconductor, right? TSEM, Taiwan Semiconductor. I know it's not. You know it's not. But traders are stupid. And why can't we just all believe this is Taiwan Semiconductor? But on the other side of things, this is also a certifiable, right, bottoming pattern, right? A little W pattern. You got a level here. You got a gap fill up here. It's the setup is there, and it's got some catch up to do, right? If semiconductors are, it's Tower Semiconductor. This thing was $50. You got a little bottoming pattern over here. If the rest of them keep going, then this is one that we can put on our watch list. And also, it's got a lot of upside to it. And you can see the range is actually pretty good. Popped up, pulled back into 50-day moving average. Nice, right? Nice little push on this. But, the big sell is, of course, man, let's just all start calling this Taiwan Semiconductor. Let's get this thing viral, right? Let's get the Robinhood bros to start saying it's Taiwan Semiconductor. Let's get the people on TikTok to be like, dude, I'm buying Taiwan Semiconductor at 32 and get this thing going. Dude, we could make so much money, right? I don't know. It sounds like a good plan, man. TWST. Breakout, pullback, taking out the range. This is, very reactive to the overall markets, but hot setup there. ARM is a daily trader. I don't see a daily setup on this right now. It's just a daily trader. And then I think you take this off, take that off. Dude, old Trip. Something happened on Trip over here. Right? Reports about 100 million worth of share buyback. 100 million? Come on. In today's day, you do 100 million? Like, have some pride. All right? Have some pride. But hey, this thing may go. You got a big breakout level here. Let's add it to the list. NXT, this one, it gapped over my alert, so then I didn't really realize it till a little bit later. 62,000, be a little faster with that, but they gapped over my alert, and then it kind of just grinded around, but I'd actually take that off too. This is my favorite. Week open on PLTR, we go red to green on this. This company, they had blowout earnings that weren't blowout, but it was treated like blowout. You got a nice push. They're coming in and saying like, dude, we got so much AI going on that, we can't keep up with everything. You got a flag pattern on the daily. Bros, that's the look right there. We want to be a part of that. I want you to add net to the watch list. Breakout pullback on earnings. Dude, those are hot. I would leave... I got a couple of old timers out here, but I want you to have one more here. Disney. I got 2 flag breakouts I want you to have. Disney and Netflix. Dude, Netflix, this could go bonkers. It's a thin little bastard. Hopefully it don't gap up too much. It's a thin little bastard. Hopefully it don't gap up too much, but it's got a good look to it. Man, I love it. It gapped up out of the range, and then it kind of had this makeshift ORB. I didn't want to take it because of this wick here, but then you did end up getting some pullbacks into the bone zone. We'll see what's up, but overall good look. Just needs a little dip at the open. Guys, be good tomorrow. Remember, old lift could be right the in and out of ride sharing. So let's get that thing going. Remember, Taiwan Semiconductor is also Tower Semiconductor. Happy Valentine's Day. Hopefully, you guys, find a partner to spend Valentine's Day with, so you're not just sitting here watching, YouTube videos, but hey, we got to do what we got to do. I love you guys. Peace.